Behind me is a polling station. There were large crowds who gathered there, many of them obviously pro-separatists, to cast their ballots this morning. The police then intervened, smashing their way into that polling station and seizing election apparatus, ballot boxes, etc. Obviously, that did not please the crowd, and there was then a face-off with police a little bit further down the road, which lasted an hour or so. Things there got pretty tense. The police were at times hitting some of the protesters with batons. In the end, that was dispersed with rubber projectiles fired, and ambulance crews who came in to help a few people who were injured there, obviously getting a loud cheer. As you were saying, however, it's not the same picture everywhere. The situation is moving quite fast in terms of where the police have intervened. There are many polling stations, obviously, here in Barcelona. We were at one this morning. The police didn't show up while we were there. One man came out holding a ballot paper. There was a big queue outside waiting to get in, and there are places where voting has been taking place. So a mixture of voting on one side and, as you said, clashes on the other. Clashes also further north from here in Girona, as the Catalan president attempted to cast his vote. But obviously it's quite a big region. A lot of these polling stations are in very small villages, and the police can't be everywhere at once, as it were.
On the topic of the polling stations, Chris, Catalan officials are telling voters they can cast their vote at any bureau, at any location. Is that in fact happening?
It's a game of cat and mouse from the independent side in terms of catching up with the activities of the authorities. A couple of days ago, for example, the Catalan authorities said they hoped they'd have 2,000 polling stations up and running. Since then, as of yesterday evening, the police had moved in, they said, sealing off about 1,300 of them. We understand there are about 160 of them occupied by the pro-separatist side here in Barcelona. And elsewhere. People have been voting this morning. I was talking there about a game of cat and mouse, and that's very much how one witness to events here at this polling station described it. The Catalan authorities, as you say, have said go out and vote where you can. He said from now on he will be touring the polling stations, absolutely determined to cast his vote somewhere. At the same time, the police are moving around, as I said, shutting them down. There's also the issue of this electronic vote. We've had reports from inside some polling stations of their signals there being scrambled. So obviously where and the way in which people can cast their votes is pretty chaotic, in line with Madrid's crackdown. And it has said, of course, from the start, this is an illegal referendum, and they're simply applying the law.